Yo, what is up guys? It's the Goblin and welcome back to another Fortnite Battle Royale tips and tricks video. In this video, I'm going to be showing you guys a pretty much near perfect game that I had here right after the volcano event happened, and of course rip Retail Row and rip Tilted Towers. Put it down in the comment section down below. Retail Row was pretty much my favorite landing spot and it's still kind of effective now, but it's going to be interesting to see what happens to the map, of course, with Season 9. But basically what happens in this game is I deal a significant amount of damage, but I only take 8 damage. And yes, that is correct, 8 single-digit damage. And the reason why I take 8 damage is not from any enemy hitting me, it's because I walk into the storm on purpose in order to hit a volcano vent, which you will see in this gameplay. So pretty much a perfect game here, which was very nice. I'm going to analyze it, talk about my decision making, what was happening at different stages, and basically how I think, because I think analyzing gameplays, every game is unique with Fortnite. The thing is that the map stays the same. I mean, it transitions over time, but from a game-to-game basis, it stays the same. But every single game, the scenarios are different, and that's why I'm going to analyze this gameplay. If you guys could smack a like on this thing, that'd be amazing. Let's go for 568 likes. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new and hit that notification bell, and let's get right into it. So as you can see, Retail Row, in my opinion, as of right now, the landing spots and destroying retail and tilted, it's kind of whack as of right now. The landing spots and the loot, it isn't as good, but I think with Season 9, obviously whenever we get a new season, there's usually about a bunch of significant map changes. So if that happens again, which I think it will, I think there'll be some cool new looting spots. And then of course, when Season 9 comes out, I'll be making quite a few tips and tricks videos because there will be a lot of stuff to cover. But as far as learning from this gameplay, you can sort of learn from how I was able to take these gunfights on without taking damage and just be smart about it. So right here you can see obviously that the kills I got earlier were me third party in their fight and just building up strategically to where they couldn't shoot me down and get those kills. Once again here I'm building and then I'm shooting once I'm in an advantageous position. Pretty simple stuff, but that's how I'm able to get 4 kills out of the start. And always be goal oriented, I think, is a main thing in this game. So goal oriented is always, you want to know what you're going for. As of right now I can see, okay, I'm good on shields and health. I'm 100. I'm good on my inventory. It's looking pretty nice of an inventory, especially with those minis in there, and the weapons are nice. But look at my materials, basically nothing. So I know this next little bit of this game is going to be spent, the early game was spent looking for a shotgun and shields, and then looking for kills. That's usually how an early game will go. And then once you kill and out around your area, you basically want to loot everything around that area. And then essentially what I want to do here is just farm up and make sure I could get a decent amount of materials to where if I was going to get in certain fights, early game, you don't need as many materials, I think, as late game. Late game, I like to have like 2,000, but I still want to have a decent amount. You can see here, I'm going into this fight with only like 70 mats, and that's why I just was like, okay, I'm just going to straight up rush this player. And luckily when I kill this, and how come every single player in this game, like maybe not every player, but a lot of them are on anonymous mode, which is like the streamer mode, which they don't seem that good of players, so I don't know why they're on streamer mode. Maybe they're new streamers or something, but as you can see here, I'm able to, that's the best. When that guy was basically tunnel visioned, I guess, shout out to Kodak, going to try to get this chest, and I was able to, or not just the chest, but the treasure chest, right? And I was able to basically kill the player. Always check the map when you do kill players, because there are people that blindly run towards them. And of course I got lucky here because I killed that player, and oh, bada bing bada boom, it's right beside me. I'm able to get that treasure map, and now I'm coming out of Retail Row with a little bit of mats that I got from him, 5 kills, and a good inventory. The only thing about my inventory here that I would say, having 6 minis and a chug jug is amazing. Chug jug does become obsolete sort of at a certain point late game. With 22 left in a big circle, it still is effective. But with an AR and a drum gun, which, oh my goodness, shout out to the drum gun coming back, it's amazing. The only bad side of the drum gun is that it uses medium ammo, which is the same as your AR, and I like to spray with my AR, especially in late game build fights. Putting pressure on players when the storm is moving is huge. And when you can see here, I'm splitting the ammo basically, which doesn't really matter if you have 999 ammo. I have 300 here, which is a decent amount. But I really play it and deciding on what to pick up, if I'm going to go drum gun, P90, or drum gun, or a P90 or an SMG. A lot of the time it does come down to that ammo count, and because if you are carrying an inventory like I am right now, you're essentially not really using your light ammo. And I know the drum gun is such an amazing weapon, but it all comes down to what do you want to get out of it. And there I also sacrificed the silenced assault rifle for the unsilenced, which I still like the unsilenced better, but honestly that silenced one, just, I don't know what it is lately, but like the last week, I've just been hitting crazy. I feel like the bloom on it is so random that sometimes you can miss every shot with the silenced one, but other times you just get like free headshots and crazy damages. So you can see here at this position, like I say, always be goal oriented. My goal here is rotate into the next zone. I don't want to get caught out in sort of no man's land, what you could call it right here. If I get third partied or into an intense fight right here, it sucks because then I'll probably have to use a lot of mats and I'll probably end up having to jump pad into the next zone. I don't have a glider redeploy, so I want to preserve that jump pad as long as possible. Even if I did have a glider, I do want to preserve it. So at this point, I'm looking 1,500 materials. I'm feeling pretty confident at this point. I'm looking, and there's nothing that I need as far as immediate, oh my goodness, I'm going to die if I don't have shields, if I don't have backup shields, if I don't have a shotgun, if I don't have mats. I have pretty much all of that covered, and that's what you should have going into late game. And that's why sometimes, obviously taking fights if you want to win isn't probably the best move, but if you go into the late game with zero kills, obviously that player probably doesn't have as good of weapons or stuff that I would have. Mats is something you can just sort of farm up, and even with weapons and loot, you can get it from RNG. But if I've killed 6 players here, so I get all the loot that I found plus all the loot that those 6 players have found and the people that they've killed as well. So it all sort of accumulates, of course, and that's why there is some sort of rewards to getting more kills. In this game here, you'll also see me be very effective with the grenade launcher. So a lot of the reason why I'm not taking damage is because in my fights, I'm not really taking on one-on-one fights because they're not necessary. One-on-one build fights, sure, if a player's there and we want to do that one-on-one build fight, I'll take it and try to beat them for high ground and win like that. But in certain scenarios, in an actual solo match, it's not the same as a creative 1v1 sort of scenario. There's all sorts of things going down. You're going to third-party player, then you're going to be getting third party, and then this is going to happen, and the storm's going to push you. So at this point right now, 8 people left, top 10. This is where you sort of want to be smart about what you want to do. You want to make the decision, okay, what do I value more here? Kills? Do I want to get a 10 kill game or a 13 kill game here, or do I want to try to secure this win? Right there, of course, another easy kill, and I see these people building up. So the thing about this is immediately I'm going to try to shoot these players down just because I have the ammo. With shooting from a distance or with spraying, it's all about your ammo count. If I had 50 ammo here, I'm not going to spray and try to get damage in on that build or damage on that player in the sky. But because I have 300, 400 ammo, I'm not really too concerned about it. And on the other hand, if I had 999, I would just be spraying all the time, making sure that I wasn't getting hit. Anyway, next thing I'm doing is I'm going to rotate in, and you can see right here is where there's 3 players left in the game. I'm in a position where I wanted to wait until the next zone before I went and invested all my mats into a 1x1. So I just built a little small base here, and it's a good thing I didn't build a huge mansion here with Wi-Fi, because look, I have to rotate. This is where I take the only damage in the game on this rotation, which is amazing, and that's of course why I set up my mini base there, because I knew I could use that as a rotation once again to preserve my jump pad. I fly on in over here, and this is a scenario where there's 3 players left. Of course, one of those players is me, so there's 2 other players. I want to make sure I am secured. I'm going to heal up right here with a campfire, because why the heck not? And I want to make sure I'm secured, and I want to get zone advantage here. And I realized the zone is going to be over there, but I want to get in a position where I have zone advantage. They have to move further to get to the next zone than I do. And I get into a decent spot right here. I test out the grenade launcher just to see it comes up just a little bit short on this player. So I'm just sort of chilling at this point, and I'm realizing, okay, I have to move, but so do they. I'm obviously making my decision of how I'm going to move, and it's jump pad in my head right now. I'm thinking jump pad. I always think it's key to, like, late game, the zones can screw you over. People play it safe and wait out certain zones late game now. And if you don't have a jump pad or some sort of means of rotation, a hamster ball, a glider redeploy, it can get very, very tough. I remember back in the day when it used to be with the bounce pads. Hey, shout out to those. But you can see a very easy rotation right here. I'm just making the smart decisions, and I'm using all of the resources that are available to me. I'm not doing anything fancy in this gameplay. I'm just playing it smart. I'm using all the resources that are available to me, and I'm giving myself the best statistical chance to win. I'm analyzing this scenario right here. I'm seeing, okay, obviously these 2 players are fighting. I'm always being wary because one snipe can end your game, and when I've already invested 20 minutes to get to this point or whatever, I want to make sure I'm able to secure it. So one player, of course, is going to be building over here. One player is still in that base, and then of course he runs out here. So this is where I have the height advantage. I was able to get to this position where they would obviously like to be in the position that I'm at, but they couldn't get here probably because they didn't have a jump pad, or they didn't have means, or they didn't rotate early. You know, they didn't take zone advantage into consideration. And that's something that if I was in their position, I wouldn't have just chilled in that base. I would have realized, hey, I got to make some sort of a move here. I'm going to go rotate early and set up a 1-by-1 there. Anyway, I get some big damage onto this player. And then once you get that big damage with the grenade launcher, which honestly, I haven't used the grenade launcher in a while, I'm able to take that player out. He shoots one snipe up at me at a sort of a last second effort, and I'm able to take him out for the win. And you can see here when it comes down to it, I think the amount of damage I did was, you'll see here in a second, I showed up, of course, with match stats, 1571 damage for 8 damage taken. So pretty good stuff there and pretty impressive stuff. I use smart decision making and basically positioning to be able to get that win and not put myself in very many vulnerable positions. And whenever I'm in a vulnerable position, I'm building to blocking it off, and then I'm waiting until I'm in the advantageous position to take the shots. Thanks for watching, guys. Drop a like, subscribe. I'll catch you in the next one, and I'm so excited for season 9. Drop a like, and I'll catch you out. Peace.